We're so glad you've joined us tonight. My name is Kat Lamb. I am the Director of Communications for the Purple Line. I want to let everybody know that this meeting is being recorded, and you'll find this evening's presentation along with that recording on our website this week. Also, responses to the questions that we'll be answering tonight will also be posted. Excuse me. I think we do have our Prince George's County Community Outreach Specialist, Stephanie Villegas, on the line, who will now relay this information in Spanish. Stephanie, were you able to log on?
Yeah, I'm here, Kat.
Great, go ahead.
Alrighty, buenas tardes y bienvenidos. La aplicación Teams puede traducir esta reunión en vivo en varios idiomas, incluyendo español, árabe, chino, francés y portugués, y mucho más. Las instrucciones para ver las traducciones en vivo están en la sección de chat. Gracias. Back to you, Kat.
Thank you, Stephanie. For those who would like a live translation, Microsoft Teams format can translate this evening's comments into a number of languages, including Spanish, Arabic, Chinese, French, and many others. Instructions for seeing that live translation are being placed in the chat section of this meeting. We're asking everyone tonight to please mute your microphones and keep your cameras off until the presentation ends and we move into the questions. Chris, if you want to move to the next slide. I think Carla has joined us, and I'm going to turn it over to her.
Hi, everybody. So tonight we're going to be going over staff introductions, project status video, and our construction update. We're going to talk to you about community engagement, and then we'll start our Q&A session. Next slide. So tonight you're going to be hearing from Ray Biggs II, our Senior Project Director from MTA, Doran Basso, our CEO from PLTP. We have Hugo Fonterage, our Project Executive from MTS, myself, Javier Devesa, our construction segment lead from MTS, and Seren Sarkasoon, who is our design build systems manager. And the stations that we're going to be addressing tonight are Adelphi Road, UMGC and UMD, Campus Drive, also at UMD, Baltimore Avenue, College Park, and Riverdale Park North. We'll turn it over to Ray to go.
All right, thank you, Carla. And welcome everyone again to our CAT meeting this evening. We're so glad you're able to join us this evening. It was definitely a busy summer for us here at the Purple Line. So now let's take a look at our latest progress video highlighting some of that progress. Chris, let's turn on the video. Welcome to our Fall Progress Update video for 2024. We are here on Campus Drive at the University of Maryland, where we recently completed a lot of our summer construction work that completed the track installation all along Campus Drive. We are so excited that we have 5 light rail vehicles at our operations and maintenance facility, and we also completed 10 miles of track across the alignment. Did I also mention that we have over 17 miles of sidewalk that have been installed? Additionally, you can see the colorful canopies that are right behind me, and we have 19 stations that will be in construction by the end of this year. And we are so excited that we are moving forward, completing the momentum on the project, and continuing that going forward.
Purple Line crews have focused on many specific areas to minimize impacts and advance the project. In Prince George's County, crews prepare for track placement by establishing work zones in the center of University Boulevard. Traffic is shifted to the newly completed sections on either side of the road. At the University of Maryland, crews have successfully completed much of the heavy construction through the center of campus. This year, students arrived to find newly completed sidewalks, embedded tracks, paved roadways, and all lanes open on Campus Drive.
Also in Prince George's County, crews opened 2 new roads, 64th Avenue and Mustang Drive. Both connect communities to Riverdale Road at signalized intersections. The flyover bridge from Kenilworth Avenue over East-West Highway has also been completed. Track crews completed the crossing of River Tech Court and opened the road 3 weeks ahead of schedule. At the Operations and Maintenance Facility, the new light rail vehicles are being prepared for testing.
I am honored and thrilled to stand here today at our Operations and Maintenance Facility in front of this. Maryland, we have a train.
Good morning, I'm Holly Arnold, Administrator of the MTA, and I am so thrilled to be here today to celebrate the arrival of the first of the Purple Line light rail vehicle. I want to do, huge congratulations to the Purple Line team. This team does not sleep. They are working all the time to deliver the Purple Line for Maryland, and I'm so thankful and grateful for them.
These vehicles are 142 feet long. That's nearly half of a football field, almost twice the size of a metro vehicle, and will be the longest light rail in North America. It'll hold up to 430 passengers. There will be 8 bike racks on board, as well as 8 dedicated wheelchair spaces accessible near the doors. These electric-powered LRVs will reduce energy and carbon emissions, as well as being quieter than other modes of transportation.
Over the summer, we worked very closely with our partners at CSX, WMATA, Montgomery County Parks, and Montgomery County Schools to complete a lot of construction work and installing track all across the alignment.
In Montgomery County, the Purple Line has successfully placed both sets of tracks across the Wayne Avenue and Dale Drive intersection prior to the start of the school year. They have also installed the complex curved track at Piney Branch Road and University Boulevard, and fully opened the Talbot Avenue Bridge. At the Silver Spring Transit Center, the LRV bridge over Colesville Road and the foundations and superstructure for the new mezzanine are taking shape. Crews also started the work to build a new and improved Spring Street Bridge by completing the bridge demolition during the WMATA summer shutdown. Station construction can be seen across the whole alignment, with station after station taking shape. The highlight of the station construction is the installation of the first Art in Transit artwork element at the Campus Drive UMD station. The artists at Legg Lewis Legg added a beautiful display of color that changes throughout the day and is a shining example of things to come at the Purple Line.
Thank you again for your patience, and while we continue construction, we are going to keep the momentum up across the alignment, moving from laying track into the testing phase of the light rail vehicles across the alignment. We are so excited about the Purple Line, and we know you are too. Thank you. Thank you again, everyone. Hopefully you could see all of the progress that we made over the summer. A lot of work, in particular in the College Park area, where we got a lot of work done with that summer shutdown that we did on Campus Drive. As you can see in the lower picture, lower right corner, there you see the canopies that got installed, highlighting some of the art in transit that we have across the alignment. This is the project timeline. We are still on track, moving forward towards revenue service. And the next milestone that we'll be reaching is the dynamic testing of our light rail vehicles. As you can see there in the bottom left-hand corner, we have several of those vehicles in our operation and maintenance facility. In fact, we have 5 now of the 28 that are up in Elmira down here in Maryland. And then if you look at the second picture, you'll see the overhead catenary system that is being installed along Veterans Parkway. Hopefully take some time to go right along that parkway, and you'll see where we'll be doing the testing once we begin that part. And then again, as I mentioned, the major work that we completed on University of Maryland campus over the summer was a big highlight of this year. So we want to make sure that we are staying on schedule. And now I'll move on to the next presenter, which would be Iago, to update us on the construction update for this area. Iago?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. As Ray was explaining before, this has been a busy summer and a very productive summer as well within the past months. So we're going to start by explaining the Adelphi intersection with University Boulevard. There's been the phase 4B that we call, that is the final configuration of traffic already deployed in the area. As you can see in this picture here, traffic has been pushed to the south side through Campus Drive, entering east of Adelphi, and the pedestrian access has been fully maintained on the south side. This is the first summer shutdown that we called in this area, in the UMGC area. There's been a massive work completed in these previous months within a time frame that was very reduced. The first accomplishment was track 1 and 2 in this curve between Campus Drive and Presidential. That's the first section that you can see in the top left corner of the picture. And basically all the work that was related to stone drain, that was related to the different conduits, that was related to the station platform as well, was accomplished in order to open the road on August 20th in both westbound and eastbound. So here in the picture, you can see the final configuration of traffic in these two bounds. And all the work was completed previously. Coming work, there's been some ongoing work into the station. Actually, we have currently installed the canopies and already poured the platform and both ramps of the station. There's just some ongoing works around the station that needs to be completed. And you're going to see some movement into the track from where we left in the previous months, in this picture over here, connecting into the station with some ballasted track. And then the final piece of work that we have major over there is the TPSS Q5, that is the traction power substation in the right side of this picture, the south side actually, which is going to be installed actually next week. Moving inside the core of campus, Presidential, that's some area that we're actively working right now. We're gonna be working in all the earthworks and all the separate for the tracks 1 and 2. The positive thing about this area that we can work in a single phase, so we don't have to split the traffic in different phases or in different configurations. So currently we are working into all the prep works for the track installation, which is going to start in the following weeks. And we are completing all the data bank installation that is just on the top corner of this picture, or just some fit pending of conduit left. Core of campus. That was the major challenge for this summer. The campus center station was completed. There was a ton of work completed in this area. First, related to all the conduits underneath the surface, because what you can see in the picture is just the result of all this work, but under it, it's been an incredibly tons of work for all different scopes. Pavers were completed in this station. All the glazing was completed. The canopies were completed. All different systems as well. Right now, we're just touching base with the final portions of the work in both north and south, but everything is pretty much in completion. This is a nice picture about all the final result of the traffic. In this summer shutdown, we basically shut down the whole Campus Drive, as you probably know, between these regions intersection up to Alumni Drive. So we could finish track 2. Track 2 was the north part of the, the track 1 was the south part of the track that we needed to complete it. So all this track 1 was completed along with the track 2 that was previously completed back in winter. So we could open the roadway. In addition to the roadway, there was completion of the rest of the flat works in the south side, which was brought with small pieces. So all the works had to be fully coordinated, although it was fully closed to traffic. In addition, the last portion of it was the bike path that you can see with the final pavement that was completed from Alumni Drive to the Regions. It's been already open to traffic. So basically, all the section from Alumni Drive to Regions was open at the end of the summer shutdown to vehicles, pedestrian traffic, and bikes as well. Regions intersection, we completed all the pavement surface because there was different phasings for this work, but it needed to be completed in only one stage so we could reopen that to traffic. That was a key part of the work that was completed. So everything along with campus and region could be open to traffic. For the coming work, there's going to be just a minor work related to landscape, and you're going to start seeing the OCS poles being installed in the way. We have already installed the light poles in most north and south. We're just pending the final connection so we can actually put them in action. We can activate them, but there's going to be the major OCS poles that are going to be installed there. East of Regions, that was portion of it was part of the summer shutdown. What you can see in the north side of this picture is both tracks 1 and 2 being completed. That was the objective for this summer, up to the Armory path that we call it. That is the connector connecting the parking C1 with the Armory building. Both tracks were completed, and actually here in this picture, you're going to see the flowers, but currently we have already completed north and south sidewalks in this picture that will be open shortly for the public. We're going to be working in the bike path on the south side as well, so we can connect the portion of the bike path that was open up to Regions with Baltimore Avenue. There's going to be some upcoming work that we intend to do in the following months. Currently, the work area that is most active is west of Baltimore Avenue. So we still need to finish one junction box that is a stone drain structure that will be able to connect all the stone drain up to Baltimore Avenue, and then we will continue with all the tracks 1 and 2 up to this roadway. Baltimore Avenue is going to be challenging, of course, because this is an active intersection that has live traffic that we need to maintain. So there's going to be different phasings that we're going to be working within the next weeks and the next months. We have phase 1 and phase 2. Actually, we're going to try to work with some MOT lane closures during day and most likely during night as well, to be expediting the works, the predecessor for the tracks. So most likely there's going to be stone drain and conduit works being installed with lane closures while we keep the traffic active in this intersection. And then track 1 and 2 are going to be installed in these 2 different phases for traffic, so we can connect the 2 sides of Rossboro Lane at both east and west sides of Baltimore Avenue. Pedestrians are going to have some affections, but all the time we're going to keep north and south bounds open, whether it's on the east crosswalk or on the west crosswalk. Moving along with the east side, within the summer, also we implemented phase 2 in this section. What you can see open is actually this phase 2 of traffic from Diamondback to Rossboro Lane. It was open, both track 1 and track 2 already completed, along with the pedestrian sidewalks. We're currently working from Diamondback to the west, so on the portion of Baltimore Avenue and Diamondback. We're actively working in different scopes, so OCS, the excavation, the stone drain, and getting everything ready for the tracks. On the south portion of this picture, we have already started working in this track 1, the south portion of the track, with our subcontractors, so they can move all the way to the east. So actually, there's going to be an active work that I will explain in the next page, but that is all connecting this Rossboro Lane. So here's a picture about what I was mentioning before. All this active work area that you can see in this picture is currently being worked with the track 1. So we intend to finish track 1 by the end of the year and shift it to phase 2, that is actually putting the traffic on the north side and putting the work on the north side and open the traffic on the south side. In order to do so, we're going to have to finish the track 1. We're going to open the flat works and sidewalks for pedestrians in the south side, and just we're going to make sure that everything is in good shape to open the traffic into this south side of traffic. So this phase 2 that I was mentioning before is going to go all the way up to this MFI intersection. As said, I mean, we're going to transition the traffic in the opposite side, as you guys can see it currently in the area. That is basically putting the symmetric work on the other side so we can complete all the rest of the scope in the north one. This College Park intersection that we call, this is some agreement that we can make with the different entities that I want to give thanks to them for that. November 2024, we want to implement some small College Park traffic shift or affection that we intend to do in this area. In order to do so, we're going to close the parking, garage, entrance, and exit. But we're going to detour this entrance into some feet to the east, where you can see in this picture with these blue arrows. We're going to be able to exit an entrance through there so we can build track 1 and track 2 in this intersection. This is a tricky area because it's not a straight line. We need to build the track into some pre-curved package. That means that we cannot cut it in small pieces. So we need to entirely build track 1 and track 2. In order to do so, we're going to apply some closure into this section for a certain period of time with a winter break to try to minimize as much as possible the affection to vehicles and pedestrians. In order to do so, we're going to just keep traffic at all times in Campus Drive. At some point, we will do this with some flagging operation, but most of the intersection is going to be completed with this configuration and being open actually for January the 20th. And for College Park UND Station, there's been progressive work on the direct fixation. That's been the portion of the work from this parking garage of WMATA up to the next station, the College Park station. There's been progress on the walls, progress on this direct fixation, and intended to be completed in the next months. And for the rest of the area, there's going to be also some progress in the flat works that we're going to try to finish all the area in front of WMATA area, and also connecting the last portion of the duct bank so we can connect everything for the rest of the segment. In River Road, there were a lot of improvements into all these intersections for Hay Drive. So we're going to continue working there with the rest of the scopes in the next weeks in order so we can make all the track work preparation so we can continue with our steps. There's been progressive work into this intersection, and we think that everything was completed properly. There's going to be some upcoming work set on the tracks and some other scopes with the different flat works as well and the different works related to the intersection. For the Riverdale Park North Station, you guys can see like pretty much the final product of the station. The canopies that were installed with the glass as well and with the windscreens. Everything has been protected with some fencing, so you can see a little bit outside the fence the final product, but we make sure that everything is properly secured to all pedestrians. All the platforms have been completed, including some benches, so just a final touch of the station, but everything is into the final configuration.
Thank you, Javier. That is a whole lot of progress. Thank you. Good evening, folks. I'm gonna spend a few minutes talking about a very exciting milestone in our project. As Ray mentioned earlier, we're finally at a point where we could actually put trains on tracks and start testing them. So our test track is built adjacent to our operations facility over in Glenridge. It's about a mile long. It runs parallel to Highway 410, and it essentially between Annapolis Road and River Road. We stopped just short of the two intersections. And the primary purpose of our test track will be to perform dynamic running of the trains, the light rail vehicles, and essentially to focus on qualification or proof of design, as we call it. It's essentially to test the key systems on the trains and to show that we comply with the design and to prove that we are safe and reliable. Next slide, please. Essentially, all of the construction work that Javier just described, at the end of the day, it's going to have to carry a train with many complex systems in a safe and efficient manner. So we start off later, towards the end of the year, this fall, we'll start off with basic tests with the LRVs, braking, propulsion, some of the safety systems like the passenger emergency intercom, the automatic vehicle location systems, CCTV, essential systems for safety and passenger comfort. We've conducted training in preparation of utilizing the test track. LRV operators have been trained. We've trained first responders, fire departments and police from the surrounding areas in the event that there's an event and they needed to respond to that. They've been trained on safely approaching the LRVs and opening the doors, lowering the pantographs, everything that's required to handle the emergency should that happen. Site safety, this is a dedicated alignment. The test track was strategically chosen because it's a dedicated part of the project with no access for the public. There are no road crossings. As I mentioned, we stopped short of Annapolis and the intersection on our west side. And we've employed, and we're working with Siemens, our train control provider, to establish a state-of-the-art protection for train overrun. So we've taken essentially safety is paramount in every aspect of what we're doing, including testing of the trains. Just previous slide, please. Thank you. Just the status of where we are with the test track. The tracks have been built. We've got 5 LRVs delivered, and we've been static testing those LRVs. Essentially, that means testing all of the systems on the LRVs to make sure that they're ready to run on the test track. And we have more LRVs planned for this year to arrive at the site. Tracks are built, they're tamped. Currently, we have inspection and testing of those tracks to make sure that they're suitable for use. That's in progress. The system that will power the tracks, the substation, and the overhead catenary has been built, and those systems are undergoing testing as well to get them ready for use on the test track. Next slide, please. Thank you. Want to emphasize safety. As I mentioned earlier, the test track was selected primarily because it's away from the public. So there is no public access Obviously, we encourage everyone to stay away from the test track, certainly not to enter the right of way while we're running trains. The LRVs will be seen in this area, and as I mentioned, we've taken adequate safety precautions to ensure that the public understands and knows that we're going to be running trains there, and to keep the area safe. The no road crossings, as I mentioned, and state-of-the-art protection to prevent trains from overrunning the tracks and fouling any of the intersections. Thank you. And now I'll hand it over to Carla.
Thanks, Soren. Okay, next slide, please. So as we're out in the community working with you guys, I don't know if any of you were out at Maryland Day. We work that community event along with others in the community. So we're always out trying to interact with you guys, take your questions, and let you know about our construction impacts and the progress that we're making. And you can always reach the team at outreach@purplelinemd.com, as well as our hotline numbers, which will be posted at the end. Next slide. And I will turn it over to Doran Basso to give us an update on bike, scooter, and skateboard safety.
Thanks, Carla. Well, as we heard from Ray and Javier and others, we have had a really successful summer, and there's more and more track being laid down across our alignment, and especially in the College Park area and UMD area. And of course, as we know, we all like to get around different ways: bikes, scooters, wheelchairs. And so I'm here just to remind everyone, when crossing the tracks, to use crosswalks and cross at a right angle perpendicular to the tracks to do so safely. We don't want to see any accidents out there, so please use caution when crossing with bikes or scooters, anything with a smaller wheel that could get stuck in the track. And also when you're driving, as the weather starts to get wintry here, just remember that if you're driving in an area with tracks on the road, it may be a little more slippery than just normal asphalt. And on to the next slide, please. Thanks. Also have the pleasure to talk about our Beyond the Rails community grant program. This summer, Purple Line Transit Partners awarded 6 community grants to nonprofit organizations along the alignment who are doing good work. It's really just so great to participate with these groups. One example this year was the Beacon Heights group and their national night out there in Beacon Heights. So we're really happy to contribute to a vibrant community along the alignment. And this is also your reminder that there is another round of community grants, and we're taking applications until November 30th for the next round of 6 grants. And you can find everything you need on the website, purplelinemd.com, under the resources tab. And there's also an email there, grants@purpleLinePartners.com, if you have any questions, need any help. The idea is it's a fairly short application process, and we really look forward to receiving more grant applications by November 30th. And I'll hand it over to Ray.
All right, thanks for those updates, Doran. One thing we wanted to make sure we reiterated to you was the refresh website that we did over the summer. As you can see at purpleLineMD.com, has a new airy feel to it that makes it a little bit easier to find things on there, in particular to find out about construction updates and detours. We now have an interactive map that is on the website, both where you can see the art in transit, see some renderings of each of the stations along the route, and then also find out about the construction alerts that are along the Purple Line as they go on. As you heard from Javier, we have a couple of different things that will be happening that will allow us to lay more track and complete more work across the alignment that will need some of your attention to make sure that you're aware of all of the construction updates and detours. So wanted to point that out, and you can see here we have the mobile application too that makes it easy for you to read on your phone. Let's go to the next slide. And then additionally, we just wanted to remind you that we have our outreach at purplelinemd.com. For any questions that you may have, please send them to outreach at purplelinemd.com or give us a call at the number that you see at your screen. Additionally, we want to invite you to follow us on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, and on Instagram, where you can get alerts about what's happening across the project with pictures, with progress updates, events going on, and meetings that we're having as we continue with the Purple Line. We also have the media at purplelinemd.com for all of the media that have any inquiries about the project as we move forward. So now we'll turn to the next part of the meeting. I'll turn it over to Carla to guide us through the questions and any questions we may have. So over to you, Carla.
Awesome. I think we're going to start with Joel. Joel, do you want to turn your camera on? I know you had some questions last meeting and we got turned off a little prematurely. So if you would like to ask your questions, we would love to hear them.
Well, I did ask the question when we were off the meeting. I had all the questions too, but I didn't get to. First of all, I noticed they didn't have no overhead wires yet for the station. And I didn't notice any tracks on that segment of the lineman near the College Park Metro. And let's see. How about that parking garage? I want to know if I guess they won't be able to access the garage if they close it, but I could take Uber right there. And I want to know if is this only temporary or is this be permanently? And also the fares, I guess they haven't got that far down the project yet. So thank you for giving the question. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to ask the question the last time. It had a little difficult time. Maybe you guys didn't see me. Well, that's all I have to say. Thank you for letting me ask the questions. Have a good evening. Hello?
Thank you, Joel. So
Hello?
responding to your questions, the wires that they're going to be installed are going to be part of the OCS poles that, as previously explained, they're going to be starting to be installed in the core of campus. So along with all these OCS poles, we're going to install the wires also in close proximity on this campus center station. So there's going to be some ongoing works for the next weeks and next months. And about the parking garage, if I understood it correctly, the entrance is going to be kept open at all times. It's just that we're going to change the location of this entrance, both entrance and exit. So the parking garage of Walmart is going to have always an entrance and exit.
Okay. Did you have it, Joel? Did you have it? Was that clear or did you have any follow-up questions?
First, I know I asked this before. I don't think they had that information yet. The fare structure and the bus stops and the bus line for the metro, the bus, and the University of Maryland shuttle.
Are you asking about like if there's going to be future impacts to additional bus stops?
Yeah, the bus line and the bus stop along the alignment.
So all of the bus folks are speaking to their own impacts. So those should be coordinated through each bus group at each stop if they're going to be changed or relocated. But we can share additional information about that. But you should be able to find that at the actual bus stop.
They did have an impact on campus near the income center. The buses are no bus stop there anymore. They're on Stadium Drive now. And they're gonna have an effect by that football game is coming Friday. I'm not gonna let any buses on campus.
Okay, we can if you would like, we could go offline and talk to you about the bus stops and make sure that you're aware of any impacts that will be happening to those.
That'd be good. Thank you.
Thanks, Joel. Ray, there's a couple of questions in the text, and then we can go to those that have their hands up. The first question is from Paul Keene. When will the traffic light be installed at the intersection of Regents Drive and Campus Drive?
We are currently working into the final connections for these traffic lights. The foundations, they've been already built, and we are currently making plans to put all the poles up. So our intention is that beginning of 2025, we have the traffic lights already connected.
Thank you very much. And then just to follow up to that, Paul had a question. Are there any future campus shutdowns planned?
It's not our intention, at least in the core of campus. With the completion of the summer shutdown, the upcoming works that are related to the landscape, the OCA poles, the wire catenary, and all that is going to be done with lane closures. So we don't have any plans to shut down Campus Drive in core of campus again. East of Baltimore Avenue, we have the phase 1 and phase 2, in which there's always going to be light traffic on it, so everything is phased. So unless there's no future plans, I mean, we don't have any intention for now.
All right, thanks, Javi.
I see, Carla, we have a few hands up. I'll apologize if I pronounced the name incorrect, but I think it's Talia with the Diamondback. If you want to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, it's Talia. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm a reporter for the Diamondback, and I just have a few questions about the construction specifically on UMD's campus. So to start off, have you heard any feedback or concerns from the campus community about the construction on campus, and if so, what? And then my second question is, what measures are being taken to ensure safety for pedestrians and bike scooter users during the construction?
And maybe let's take it in reverse order. And Javier, if you want to talk about the safety question and the pedestrian access while we are constructing first.
Yeah. So currently in our crews, for example, we have one dedicated crew related to all the safety and making sure that everything is properly ADA. With the completion of the summer shutdown, most of the all the sidewalks and the bike path in core of campus, it was ADA compliance. But of course, there's always going to be like potential risks that we try to address. We're talking continuously with UND management to try to identify these areas and try to address them as soon as possible. And actually, we have also like a weekly walkthrough to walk all the area in the campus to try to locate these potential areas in which we need to address a little bit more.
All right, appreciate that, Javier. And then your first question that you had of feedback about the construction that's happening on UMD. That'd probably be good for you to take, Carla, given you probably get all the outreach questions that are coming in.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything specifically, but as they are raised, obviously, we're working closely with UMD, our safety teams, and our construction team to address those. We are working to get the word out that students need to be aware as they're walking through campus. We're all on our phones, so we try to make it very clear that people need to be alert. We are an active construction zone. We do a lot of training to our teams internally so that as we are on a student campus, that everybody's extra aware as we're going through there, that students are going to classes, and that we're on the alert that people are on their phones as they're walking to those classes. So we just really encourage students to be aware, look up, not on your phones. We want everybody to get to classes safely. And again, please reach out to us at Outreach at Purple Line MD if you have concerns or questions. And we enjoy being an active part of the UMD community as we're completing construction.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, Carla. One thing I would add to Carla's response is we have heard some positive feedback of the Ride Safe with Purple Line campaign that we did of Be Particular, Ride Perpendicular. That's one thing we implemented with all the construction happening on campus. So. All right, we'll go to the next individual. Robert, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm going to try not to confuse you more. I sent this question in earlier, but what I'm asking is, it's my understanding that there will be some information boards at the stations, specifically in that, through the College Park area. The city itself is looking to enhance its communications and is also looking at some type of electronic board. So I was asking the question if there is the possibility of shared technology where you could possibly shoot messages that were pertinent to the line if we were able to secure those things. And if that's a possibility, to have some type of communication to assure that there's some consistency in the type of equipment we're using.
Got it. We are taking down a question. That's probably a question that we need to do a little bit more research on to see if there's a shared capability on the communications aspect. What we'll do is, unless someone wants to jump in that may know off the top of their head, if we can do that right away. But if not, we will follow up with a response on that because it will require us to talk with some individuals just to see how this all works together and if there can be some collaboration there on the communications.
I appreciate it. And if there whoever's doing that, I really just spoke because I wanted to try to clarify the question. That was
no, that's very helpful.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. All right, back to you, Carla. I see we have one last question from Paul.
Yes, and that is, what is the planned frequency during peak times? Paul, are you specifically talking about the trains when they'll be stopping at stations? Yes, so all right, so that's an operations question. I don't know, Ray, if you want to take that one.
Yeah, no, off the top of my head, it's 7.5 minutes is the peak times between trains. Any follow-up questions or any other questions?
Ray, hi. This is Vic Weisberg with the county. I just wanted to add a little bit to Joel's question earlier, and just to say that all of the service providers of transit, including our bus system, the bus, WMATA, and the UMD shuttle have all been coordinating closely with the Purple Line team to adjust as we need to based on various closures. and in some cases that has required some rerouting, like for instance, Langley Park. Um, some of the routes have been um, uh, rerouted through the community as the ability to make some of the left-hand turns has been limited. So there's a piece on University that some of the lines are not able to serve. So we've been working closely with the Purple Line to adjust as we can. I hope that helps.
Thank you for that, Vic, and glad you could join us tonight. So thank you for providing that additional information.
I see another one here in text. Is there any opportunity for emailed meeting notes? Is this presentation available anywhere on the Purple Line website? And the answer is yes, it will be. It usually takes us at least 24 hours, maybe a little more depending, but this presentation is recorded and it will be placed on the website as well as the presentation. And then the Q&A also gets put up about a week after, sometimes less, depending on how long it takes us to write it up and get it on there. But all of this will be available for you on purplelinemd.com under the CAP meetings on the public meetings area. And you can also email us if you cannot find that at outreach@purplelinemd.com. Thanks.
And Carla, I was going to ask, is it possible for us to put the direct link that goes to the CAP meetings on the website in the chat for people so they'll have it handy for when it does get posted?
Yes, Stephanie or somebody from the MTA team. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kat.
Anybody else have any questions?
I'm doing one last check to see if anyone is on video. Okay. I don't see anything. Back to you, Carla.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We appreciate your time as always. If you have other questions, please reach out to us. And we appreciate you sharing tonight with us and look forward to further progress updates. Good night.